governors, we have missionaries, and this side for the merchant. So just the missionaries and the merchant. And apart from this, are all the rooms on the ground floor here, the 10 rooms, 1,000. Look at this one. That's 90 one. Are you seeing it? This one. We have similar one at the other side. Dutch added them, to support the walls of the castle. But later they built the castle in 1882. And the Portuguese spent 155 years. The watchtowers. One at the right and corner side, and we have the other one. Dutch soldiers were up to look on the sea for any possible attack when they were here. Now, when British took over the castle, they converted the towers into prisons. So British captured a Ghanaian king from Ashanti region, a very powerful king. The name of the king is Prempeh I, Nana Akwesi Agyemang Prempeh. The king was imprisoned in this one for 4 years. From here, he was sent to Freetown in Sierra Leone for 1 year, and later the king was exiled. She led people to fight the British. The name is Ya Asantua, Nana Ya Asantua. The woman was also imprisoned in this one for 1 year, and also exiled to Seychelles Island. Slaves were about 600, and the female slaves were.
Female slave.
Where they put their slaves?
So this is the female courtyard. About 400 women were here, and the 600 men at the other side. This is a cannonball that they used to punish the female slaves. Have you seen the cannonball there? This ball. There were 8. There's a hole on top. There were 8 of such balls here with chains connected. And when the Europeans came, only the men were here without their wives. There were soldiers here, missionaries, merchants, the governor, and even the governor's assistant. So some of them were raping the women. So those who refused to be raped, those who tried to escape, and those who were very strong and fighting the masters to be released were brought here, 8 of them, so to be chained to the leg. So for the women, punishment came in the form of public humiliation. You have to stand here whether there is rain or sunshine. That period, no food, no water. When they see that you are very weak, and then you'll be released. And they did that to break the spirits of the rest of the women down, or to serve as a deterrent to the rest. So anytime you are called to do something, quickly you have to obey. So that is the purpose of this cannonball. Any questions?
One of those Africans of being assembled in the now next time we want
water reservoir, and it's rainwater. It isn't underground. They connected pipes like this one right on top of the building, and whenever it rains, it passes through. The water was filtered there, and clean one will be harvested here. This one covers the whole floor, the entire floor. So we are all standing on it, and when it is full, we have 20,000 gallons of water for domestic use. And look at it. There's a balcony. According to the history, anytime the governor of the castle wants to rape one of the women, that is where he stands. And some of the women will be assembled as we are, and the governor chooses the one he likes. They have to fetch water for the one chosen by the governor to wash down. Maybe the person might have been in the dungeon for so long without taking a bath. And after the humiliation, they still have to force the woman to climb the stairs that you see there. Let's have a look. A selected woman will be forced to climb this. There's a trap door on top. They open it and out the door to the governor's bedroom. And after the rape, the woman still comes back as a slave. And because of what happened, they said a lot of them got pregnant. And those who got pregnant were free. There was no one. That is why in front of the cell, there's a crossbow and a scar here. Those who tried to escape and those who were fighting the masters to be released were in this one. No, sorry, they were here as punishment, and later they will be released. And they did that to set as an example for the rest of the Europeans. That is why you can see this cell is well ventilated. These are wooden bars. At that time, they used this one. These are the original ones. So there's no way a slave can escape. And because of the sea, the original ones are getting rusty. All of them have been replaced with wood. Now, the clothes that you see, there was a program here. It was held on 3rd July 2015. And the title for the program is The Return of the Slaves. So many people came here. Some from America, some from Nigeria, UK, Togo, so many places. They came voluntarily, and then they slept in this dungeon for one night, just to have a feel of how the slaves felt when they were here. So this is what they used to cover themselves for those who came to the program. Even the next day when we came, the security told us that after the program, some of them fell sick, and then they were rushed to the hospital. So you can picture how it was when the slaves were in the dungeons. Now, as I said, they did not use the Portuguese church, and rather they built their own church, ironically, on top of this dungeon. So they were worshiping God up. Human beings were down, crying for two churches. You see the yellowish bricks from the Netherlands, not this one, and this one from Portugal. Any question? Reformed church or the Protestant church on top of the female dungeon. So they wrote this way: Zion is the Lord's resting place forever. From the Bible, Psalm 132, verse 40. So they were praying to God. Human beings were more than those who died in the dungeons because of how they were packed in the ship. And even when the slave trade was going on, there was somebody around. He was a captain of a slave ship. The name of the man is John Newton. He gave an example that when a ship takes 700 slaves, either 1/3 or half died. And when he died, straight into the sea. But surprisingly, the captain of the slave ship later became a priest. And he wrote this song, you know this song, Amazing Grace. That is his song. But he was actively involved. Later, he regretted it. He became man of God. And because a lot of them died, visitors laid wreath that you see at the corners of the floor to remember those who died in the dungeons, as well as those who also died at sea. So what they are saying is that those people may their souls rest in perfect peace. And some of them do not believe in Christian religion. So when they come here, they also use the alcohol to pour libation, to seek protection and prosperity from our ancestors. That's why you can see this bodies here. Now, years ago, two people were reburied there. One African American and one Jamaican. Their names are Samuel Castle and Madam Krista. They died outside this country, they were buried. But when the Ghanaians were celebrating the first Emancipation Day, their mortal remains were exhumed And according to the history, many people witnessed the exhumation of their remains. Now, they brought their remains back to this country. To be specific, the other castle, Cape Coast Castle, they performed a ceremony for them at Cape Coast Castle. And after the ceremony, they sent their remains back to where the slaves had their last life, to be reburied. And they did that to honor them because they were fighting for the Africans in terms of racism, white man's supremacy, and so many other things. That is why they did that to honor them. So the river is still there. We call the river Don Concio in our local language. In English, it's Slave River. As I'm speaking, there are tour guides there. I've been there several times. A lot of people, tourists also go there. There are tour guides there. When you go, they also do the tours as we do here. But sometimes when visitors come here, some of them do not get a chance to know the history there, maybe due to time constraints. And, slave trade also lasted more than 400 years. So we cannot use 45 to an hour to narrate everything. So there are some in books, there are many books, plenty. But we have some that we recommend for the tourists. We have this book like Indigenous Slavery in Ghana, A Cry, and then Lamentations from Ancestors. These are books that gives the detail, including the slave river and any other. So when you get there and you are interested, I said NAB was a corner.
All right.
Yeah. Any question? To protect this castle from attack. So that one, the name is Fort St. Jago. It was built by the Dutch in 1665. And these are the original kennels. So you see let me show you the diagram. They put the pole at the center and they use the shadow of the pole some of the time. And they will fill this mold with water from here up to here and fill it with water. And then when it's a drawbridge, they can lift it up to the entrance so no one will get the help. And this is the governor's kitchen. Chimney. Continue. Choose. And there's a trapdoor up to the governor's bedroom. And these symbols are secret society symbols, the circle and triangle. So some of them were not Christians. And this is right beside a church. And that church is on top of a dungeon. The circle means eternity, and the triangle is perfection. This is a trap door. The selected woman came up. You see, that's where the governor was standing. Up here, straight to the bedroom. So we are going to see the governor's bedroom. And also 2 living rooms. Let's have a look. Step down. So these are the 2 living rooms, and that is the governor's toilets and bath. So in all, the governor enjoyed 12 windows. 4 windows here, 4 there, here, 4 also there, 1 other corner. Any question? And when the slavery was over, Dutch also sold the castle to the British in 1872. And British left when Ghana became independent state in March 1957. He said the castle is 540 years old. Now, in the early 1990s, the chiefs held a ceremony here called Fihangra. And Fihangra simply suggests when the slaves were going, they never had the opportunity to say goodbye. And after they went to America for a meeting, when they came back, they brought a flag. And that flag, it's a mission statement of the whole tour of the castle. And the flag reads, "In the everlasting memory of the anguish of our ancestors, may those who die rest in peace. May those who return find their roots. May humanity never again perpetrate such injustice against humanity. We, the living, vow to uphold this. We, the living, vow to uphold." So I think as we walk out the castle, we all carry a lot of responsibilities. We are just going to preach against injustice. And from today, we see ourselves as brothers and sisters. I believe that will be the end of the tour. And I wish all of you safe journey and also have a nice day.